We started this series talking about a house fire. We've spent 12 weeks building something here together, room by room, layer by layer. Rituals, symbols, connection, beauty, energy, and growth, work and play, soul and legacy. Today is the chapter that holds all of it. This isn't necessarily about adding anything new. This is about taking stock of what you have and working with what you've already built. Sometimes that means letting go, obviously. I'm Natasha Antonioni, a luxury realtor here in Austin, Texas. I'm also a designer for intentional design, which is what this series is built around. I'll be launching my book in the fall of 2026, just around the corner. This is chapter 12. It won't end here. We'll keep going week by week, breaking it down segment by segment. This is a journey. That's what we have to remember. Just like life, it's not over in one go. It's a constant practice. It's like a daily practice, like a meditation, like an exercise routine, like anything that has importance and significance in your life. I like to think about these habits, these rituals that we do on a daily basis as a drop in a bucket. We don't always see results right away, but they stack up over time and exciting, amazing things can come of it. Today, I want this to feel more like a conversation. I have this idea that it would be so fun to have people call in and share their experiences, things that they want to draw into their life through the design of their home, and that we can workshop those tools together. So if you like that idea, leave a comment, or if you like a topic, leave a comment below. The people that get the most out of this work are continuously asking, does my home, does my space hold the person that I'm becoming? We've all done the work. We've all heard about how it's acting as if. We want to do the same thing in our home environment. How do we weave acting as if into our home? Well, we create little moments, little reminders throughout our home. Over time, you don't even see them anymore, but it becomes that daily practice that's embedding it into your subconscious, which of course, as we know, makes it easier to draw into your reality. We talked about how my husband did one thing to change his morning routine. He sat outside after listening to a Huberman episode, and he just took the morning light with his coffee in our backyard, that he designed the landscaping so he got to enjoy the fruits of his labor, see the light come in, and how that kind of settled his nervous system before the chaos of the day began, and how it also led to him sleeping better. The circadian rhythms, right? Morning light helps you sleep better. Makes sense. It was a simple decision to greet the day differently. That space for morning reflection and a dedication to oneself led to so many wonderful things. A more calm, a husband who sleeps better, a quieter brain to start his workday. One small conscious choice cascaded into a daily practice. You don't necessarily have to redesign your home. You just have to begin somewhere. Oprah Winfrey calls her home the promised land. She has a tea house in the middle of her beautiful Montecito property. This is a place for her to reflect, to go within, to be quiet and find her center. You could imagine with all that Oprah has going on, that would be a really important gift to give oneself. But why wouldn't we give ourselves that same exact gift? If Oprah makes space for her inner life with all the resources that she has, shouldn't we do the same? The most successful people on earth really understand that your environment is a part of the work. Here's what I've noticed over the last 20 years of practicing real estate and interior design. Most people actually know exactly what they want. It's simply a matter of giving yourself the space and the time to create it. Permission to have that space and time. The longboard surf story in my house, such a simple thing. It was permission to believe that that beach house was on its way, and what memories we created and friendships and bonded moments we had in that home with our family and our friends. The values canvas that sits near our dining table. A daily reminder of what we value, who we are, and what we stand for. Designing your room in a jewel-toned color after a divorce isn't vanity. It's permission to take up space again and own what you love. What are you waiting for permission to do? This book is that permission. Your home is that permission. You get to decide what your space says about your life. Everything in this book comes back to 5 moves. Dream. Give yourself permission to go big, to think big about what your life could be. At the end of it, you're going to look back and say, I wish I would have if you don't. Declare, use your home as a symbolic statement for who you are, who you're becoming, who you're growing into. Design, build the physical layers that support the life that you deserve. Evolve, let your home grow with you. Know that it's never quite finished. It's always an evolution, just like we are. Legacy, build something that carries you forward. These aren't necessarily steps to complete. They're cycles that carry you forward through your life. Remember Amanda and Jordan, my dear friends. I also designed their home in Santa Cruz, California. Every morning they wake up and they say, I choose you. That's a commitment to themselves, to each other, to hold space, no matter what that day brings, because every day is going to be far from perfect on many. They also had 10 commitments at their wedding ceremony. They have 2 objects in their house that represent those commitments. One is a wheel that has each commitment burned into it. They walk past it on the way to and from their bedroom every day as a reminder to stay true to those commitments. Every month, they commit to honing in on one of those commitments. They talk through it, they work through it. It's not always easy. It sounds romantic and fantastical, but we all know that real life is not always like that. So even in the rough moments, there's an anchor to come back to. As we were designing their home, Jordan insisted on making a piece of art for the living room, which is the center of the home. He took 10 pieces of wood and tied them together with other pieces of wood. On each square, he carved a symbol of each commitment. This allows this beautiful piece of art that lives in their living room, that came from his effort, from his soul, from his vision, and from their commitments. It sits like an anchor to ground their environment. Their home doesn't just hold their love, it actively tends to it. That's what intentional design looks like when it really comes to life. Not necessarily a beautifully designed room, although that is a really nice gift to give yourself, but really it's about a beautifully designed life. It's about owning your choices. It's about staking a claim in your environment that you observe every day on a daily basis. You now have more than design ideas. You have a framework for the rest of your life. The book goes deeper on every single chapter. I was just giving you little snippets here. There's stories, there's exercises that go even further. Let yourself luxuriate in the process and have fun with it. There's no beating yourself up here. This is a process of becoming. My email is below if you want to get on the pre-order list. Just shoot me an email. One last homework. Don't wait for the perfect moment to begin. You can start small. You already have a home. You already have a life that you're building. The only thing standing between where you are and where you're going is a first step commitment, moving towards that one goal. One corner, one office, one table. Your home is waiting. What are you going to say to it this week? And below in the description, I've left all of the worksheets in there so that you can go through them step by step if you really are ready to dive in. Thank you for being here. It's really been a journey and a process, and I'm so excited to share more. Every comment, every subscribe, every person who shared a video, you are part of this. Let this be a movement that we start together. We'll see you soon.